Hello, dear student. So this is the first unit and first topic, methods of separation. Okay, methods of separation. So in the analytical chemistry, we know that we are carrying out the qualitative and quantitative analysis of substances. Okay, but here for your kind information, this is the chemistry branch. It is not just restricted to qualitative and quantitative analysis. This branch carries out separation. Okay, separation. Then you can do the qualitative analysis, you can do the quantitative analysis, you can do the isolation. Okay, so these are the different things which are under the same shadow, what I can say, which are doing in the analytical chemistry. Okay, so if you go to any laboratory, if you go to any processing unit, if you go to any industry, whatever product you are using in your day-to-day life, okay, in your house too, okay, you are even in outside, even at the outside, the whatever sanitizers you are using, soaps you are using, shampoos, toothpaste, creams, talcum powders, deodorant, edible oil, whatever things are there around you. What you are using mobile gadgets, the material which is used for the manufacturing of that mobile. So, for all that purpose, there is a need of a chemical, there is a need of a substance, and that substances are separated, they are analyzed qualitatively and quantitatively, then that we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, so this is one of the part, that methods of separation. So what are different methods which we can use for the separation of substances or the impurities or the component from any mixture? Okay, so analytical chemistry deals with the sample that contain number of components. Okay, and there is a need for separation of component. Some of the separation method employed can only separate the component, while other methods helps to separate the component, and that methods can also isolate the required component from the mixture or the sample, what I can say. Okay, so here is an introduction to the analytical separation and their importance in the analysis. Okay, so separation is the operation that resolves the sample into its components. Okay, की कुठलाही एक सबस्टन्स आहे ते मिक्सचर आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये तीन प्रकारचे हे आहे, समजा components आहेत, that all three types of components can be easily separated with the help of analytical techniques. The technique used in operation is known as a separation method. The technique of separation are applied for two different purposes. The purpose may be analytical or purpose may be preparatory. Okay, any sample that need to be analyzed contain other component. Okay, any substance that needs to be analyzed which contain other component. Hence, separation method becomes very important. In any field of investigation, analytical measurement is required, and that is a necessity. Okay, so moreover, the nature of the method applied will depend on the nature of sample which you are handling at that moment. Okay, be it a chemical, petrochemical, right? Then pharmaceutical, then minerals, polymers, or any other type of industry might be there, or the same. So separation method are definitely required. So separation is based on physical. You can do the on the basis of physical properties, chemical properties. You can use the instrument for the separation. Okay, so physical separation based on the physical properties of component, chemical separation based on the chemical properties of the component, and instrumental method also makes the use of different properties of component for the separation purpose. Okay, so estimation of analyte without effecting separation. Estimation of component without effecting separation is not very common, but not a impossible. Okay, that is possible. So, like, for the estimation to be possible without affecting separation, the method applied will have not only selective, but it should be the specific. Method should be selective and specific. Okay, so the method should be able to pick up the required components specifically in presence of other components so that we can analyze the particular component. Okay, so in the case of classical method like gravimetric analysis, the precipitating agents are used. Okay, we may use a precipitating agent. So from the mixture of magnesium and barium, you can separate barium preferentially, and you can separate it from the magnesium. Okay, so in the case of instrumental method, okay, of analysis like a colorimetry, if the reagent used for the okay, so sorry for distraction. Instrumental method of analysis like a colorimetry, if a reagent used for color development is specific and react only with a given metal ion, then even in presence of other metal ion, the given ion can be estimated. The given ion can be estimated means that for that particular ion or the element only shows you the reaction or change in the color, and hence that can be analyzed in presence of other element. Okay, so in the case of palligraphy, two metal like copper and iron, so with widely separated half wave potential can be estimated from the same solution without the separation. Okay, and you can find out a particular element over there. So types of method of separation: mechanical, physical, and chemical methods are there. What are the mechanicals? Sieving method, exclusion technique, centrifugation is there, then filtration is there. Okay, then solubility technique comes under the physical methods of separation. Volatility is there, then charge separation is there. Okay, then under the chemical method, precipitation technique is there, and electro deposition method is there. Okay, so different type of separation method that are possible under the four categories based on solid, liquid, if the substance are solid, liquid in nature, and if they are in the liquid state, then they are in the gas solid state and gas liquid state. Okay, if the component, more than one components are present in this situation, in this composition, then how we can separate them? For the solid liquid, we can use the fractional distillation, we can use the crystallization, we can use zone refining. For the separation of liquid, we can use ion exchange chromatography, partition chromatography, and solvent extraction technique. So for the separation of gas solid, we can use the adsorption, sublimation, gas solid chromatography. And for gas liquid technique, we can use a gas liquid chromatography and adsorption. So we'll see first, based on again one more technique on the basis of solubility, how the separation technique are classified. So in this, first is the precipitation. Okay, so this is a very old method of separation, precipitation technique. So it involves the conversion of substance into solid, and that automatically gets separated in the form of solid from the solution, and after that we can filter it and separate it. For this purpose, we may use a precipitating agent and chelating agent for the metal ions. Okay, so this is also possible. In the filtration technique, we can separate two different phases like a solid liquid. So it is a mechanical method of separation of solid from the solution. ओके, जसं की आपण चहा हा फिल्टर करून घेतो पिताना, that is a filtration process. So here is also in chemistry, from solution you can separate the solid by the method of filtration. Then the crystallization process. In the crystallization process, what happens? The solid is present in dissolved state in the solution, and if you want to make it separate, so what we do, we generally we cool down the solution over there, that solute get separated in the form of solid, and we can filter that solute from the liquid phase, okay, or the solute from the solution, okay. So most of the time in this technique, what people do, they take the solution in which solute is present, they heat that solution and allow that solution to cool down, and what happens, only the required component are get separated in the form of solid, and whatever impurities may be present in that solution, that remains in the dissolved state. So this technique is also helpful for the separation of impurities from the solute, okay, or the desired substance, the compound, okay. So this is very important technique. This technique, once you go to the industry, this is very regular practice for the purification of components, okay. So after that, the classification is based on the gravity. Classification is based on the gravity, okay. Here we have seen based on the solubility. These are what the general classification which we are studying in this topic. After this classification, we will proceed to the actual basic techniques, and in depth the techniques which are we are going to learn over that, okay. So I think this is enough for this lecture. Intentionally I'm preparing the shorter lecture so that it will be more enjoyable for you, and you can listen the lecture again and again, and that will be the more uh, you know um, understandable to you, okay. So remaining part, or the remaining topic, remaining concept, I'm going to continue in the next lecture, okay? Thank you.